Flait Stanley, Chapter 5. Arthur's Good Idea. For a while, Stanley Lambtop was a famous name. Everywhere that Stanley went, people stared and pointing at him. He couldn't hear them whispers. Over there! Angus, over there! That must be Stanley Lambchop, the one who catches the sneak thief, and things like that. But after a few weeks, the whispering and staring stopped. People had other things to think about. Stanley did not mind. Being famous has been fun, but enough was enough. And then came a further change, and it was not a pleasant one. People began to laugh and make fun of him as he passed by. "Hello, Super Skinny!" They would shout, and even ruder things about the way he looked. Stanley told his parents how he felt. "It's other kid I mostly mind," he said. "They don't like me anymore because I'm different. Flat." "Shame on them," Mr. Ramchop said. "It is wrong to dislike people for their shape, or their religion for that matter, or the color of their skin." "I know," Stanley said. "Only maybe it's impossible for everybody to like everybody." "Perhaps," said Mrs. Ramchop, "but they can try." Later that night, Arthur Lambchop was woken by the sound of crying. In the darkness, he crept across the room and knelt by Stanley's bed. "Are you okay?" he said. "Go away," Stanley said. "Don't be mad at me," Arthur said. "You're still mad because I let you get tangled the day you were my kite, I guess." "Skip it, will you?" Stanley said. "I'm not mad. Go away. Please let me be friends." Arthur couldn't help crying a little too. "Oh, Stanley," he said, "please tell me what's wrong." Stanley waited for a long time before he spoke. "The thing is," he said, "I'm just not happy anymore. I'm tired of being flat. I want to be a regular safe again, like other people. But I'll have to go on being flat forever. It's making me sick." "Oh, Stanley," Arthur said. He dried his tear on a corner of Stanley's sheet, and could think of nothing more to say. "Don't talk about what I just said," Stanley told him. "I don't want to fork the worry. That would only make it worse." "You're brave," Arthur said. "You really are." He took hold of Stanley's hand. The two brothers sat together in the darkness, being friends. They were both still flat, but each one felt a little better than he had before. And then suddenly thought he was not even trying to think. Arthur had an idea. He jumped up and turned on the light and ran to the big storage box where toys and things were kept. He began to rummage in the box. Stanley sat up in bed to watch. Arthur flung aside the football and some lead soldier and airplane models and a lot of wooden blocks. And then he said, "Aha!" He had found what he wanted. An old bicycle pump. He held it up, and Stanley and he looked at each other. "Okay," Stanley said at last. "But take it easy." He put the end of the wrong pump hose in his mouth and clamped his lip tightly about it so that no air could escape. "I will go slowly," Arthur said. If it hurts or anything, wiggle your hand at it, me. He began to pump, and at first nothing happened except Stanley's cheeks burged a bit. Arthur watched his hand, but there were no wiggle signs, so he pumped on. Then suddenly Stanley's top half began to swell. It's working, shouted Arthur, pumping away. Stanley spread his arms so that the air could get around inside him more easily. He got bigger and bigger. The button of his pajama top burst up, pop, pop, pop. A moment more and he was all around the house, head and body, arm and legs, but on his right foot. The foot stayed flat. Arthur stopped pumping. It's like trying to do very last bit of those long balloon. He said, maybe a shake would help. Stanley shook his right foot twice, and with a little whooshing sound, it swelled out to match the left one. There stood Stanley Lambchap as he used to be, as if he had never been flat at all. Thank you, Arthur. Stanley said, thank you very much. The brothers were shaking hands when Mr. Ramchap strode into the room with Miss Ramchap right behind him. We heard you, said Mr. Ramchap. Up and talking when you ought to be asleep, huh? Shame on. George, said Mrs. Ramchap, Stanley around again. You're right, said Mr. Ramchap. Nothing good for you, Stanley. I'm the one who did it, Arthur said. I blew him up. Everyone was terribly excited and happy. Of course, Mr. Ramcham made a hot chocolate to celebrate this occasion, and several toasts were drunk Arthur for his cleverness. When the little party was over, Mr. and Mrs. Ramcham tucked the boy back into their beds and kissed them, and then they turned out the light. Good night, they said. Good night, said Stanley and Arthur. It had been a long and tiring day. Very soon, all the Lambchap were asleep.